Test, test.
All of us ready?
Good morning. Yat do yat ben council members. Myra, Esther, Angie, Stephen. Yat ben de yakinane do nana. We have our regular chapter meeting scheduled today at 9 a.m. But I'm going to be calling this meeting to order. It is now 9:07. Na lo yat no shikeshid na no shenigin hilwan no na lo tide benebige. Dort akut ego il at the quiz nan tlan lenigit on kilhod an lenigi benina put with the ya il echo yat get the schneedle those of you that are online and those of you that have called in. Good morning. Adoshi kwage agenda bikawa il neto lekiki I hope they put that online too, but ya kwage what isha ako yat benen kitishna nadat on also ado kwage executive manager linigi Duran kwade yan khade yakahodi la nana do nana kwade ya lo ya the laptop stored in a microphone linigi na khade yakho khade di la linigi lo yat di nido ne my vacation tell yazi Nelson Cody ko agot ela ko yat no smoti de benen lini bige ako shinde yati de nashol just told it kwage na kipon is so gi roll call kwa shinde ya secretary treasurer bchagil adol Esther.
Good morning, roll call here. Gerald Gibson.
Here.
Myra.
Okay, thank you, Esther. The Quag council members, the Quag and Hatas, and so when we're going to talk, we need to push this thing so we can hear and other people can hear too. Akut Aisha. Arashi Kona Nana, Yasodazan Lineage. So does an linit arts isn't it they yapede hat or set over Kiadole. Ako ancient ashako what else does an linin hash let all it. Hodojodole digin yurt eating chop, but he na ekan, he just an adils and lido the corner qua. Did the Hayil can linigi did the horse eat corner de Yashan Dean Linipen, he cannot eat lard and linigi begit a conquer de ya. Nalchana need loan, Yazan need loan, so can eat loan, conquer de Yakinane can le corner. But the end, the nigger loan, they would our corner, Yabkinane scan the corner de ya. Quite they would our ail end, le corner quiz candashi, they would our conquer chapter has at one nest, because I get corner de ya. Not and saw case and living get they would our conkin lineage, how the yan long compy get they would our the Yakine can the conquer de ya. Qua ol kilkona de what after ya hinane khin le kona qua de ya na il ne lido le kona ni na nation le ni da ko qua tun nest de cause argus that da hat ego ya egi ta was on lido le de ya ne hin sa kest an le in de ya na hat an le ni de ya il in the company ya hinane de ya hine khan lo hol jis qua de what ko de ya ne hik ein le ni ki de le ni ki bele ya hinane khin le kona Adot ego de ya consayat egin sahakesiat egi bede ya na il ne lido let kona but aye de ya ne hicha so deal den kona digin inda de ya ko de ya hicha digin ko de ya adot ego ni kil kono son lido let na to kona quiz ka kona de ya so de zan lini bede ya ne hicha yel ki kona ne hicha na I ka kona khajin of pa lido let kona Kwede yan hilko an lenigi kon hashin so de ya in sekestan lekon jadnes kin lode ut abi iltan lekon agot aye de ya kon de ya so de zan leni pe de yan heche yel kin lo hol jishin lekon kwede ut de ya in nanel ni lido de he la kon hashin pa lode ya kon ta dot eko ko kwede ya hinane kin lekon Qua de adot ego na il ne lido del conso de zan leni pe de khait si hin lom bi ke de ya enel ne lido del kona ne hik ein lenin kit na en len ki kon khanel lon de hot de ya tko hoz ne le kona en de khanel lon de ya kon bejetas del kona ben ik est ko igilte le kona de ya ne hik ein len ki kon Begaan lene de yan de hast in le kona, benel ne in lido le konsa de dadot egon hajin pa in lido le ha honnen lini ko a chain le bebet silo le lenigi ko de yan hini ke le ko wat aye de yan hichana I ka to de ya ko ko de ya hone tlo kinane khin lenin hajin pa in lido le in de yan hik ein lini ki de en lenin ki khallon lini zat anil skona in de ya الآدية تهويس آغو كونس دال سكوتشا ودال خاجي نبا ليدو للكون إن دي يكون دي يصد زنليني بيدي هجا يلتكين هجا دي ينائي كان لون هول جيش خاشين زاتين ساني لهاس توين لنجي يكوت دي ينخان ديز لان لكون آدو تهيكو دا التيتو للتين لنجي بك أهو دي يكون دي الآن كي أوتلان لنازلان لكونه وتأتي ينهج صديل زن لكونه كي هادي نيت ليدو لشند دي يكونه نيك أين لينين كده نين ليني كونه دي خشوبا دات إيد لكونه سلال صون لني بنيل نين ليدو لكونه هوي جن لو دي وتأكو دي نهن زكيستان لكونه وتآية دي نهجة غيت زي ليدو لكوه دي نا إل نهن لنيت تدادو وتأغو صاد لبالجه نا نيت زي ليدو لكونه وجودو لنسو دش لكونه نيت سجو هجون كده هجون هي نهيك نهن نادات خده نزاق هجون سانا غيبك هجون ناني تلون كونه يهناني تاتن ليدو لناني خناني تاتن ليدو لكوجودو لنسو دش لكونه وجونا هستلي وجونا هستلي وجونا هستلي وجونا هستلي أود أشينا إليا دولل كو أجشك إيش ده أدو شينا سول جش دولل أي يكو أنا الصوصن لين بكه هو قال دولل ليني بكه إيل نه دولل ليني شيء ده ينهجن يدول تخطو دي بيدي لا يتلي ليدو دي لكوشي دي يكو Vice President Myra بكيب جيل آدو للإيجين دي يكو دي يلتخطو لي سي
Tonenist is a local government vice president in Shla. Today, proposed chapter meeting agenda, April 7, 2021 at 9:00 a.m. Daylight Savings Time. Time, April 7, 2021, 9 a.m. Join the Zoom or call the phone number 669-900-9128, meeting ID 836-1079-2112, passcode 443482. A, preliminary. 1, call meeting to order. 2, roll call. 3, invocation. 4, review of agenda. 5, adopt and approval of agenda. 6, journal of proceedings, chapter meeting of March 7th, 2021. B, call to the public, limit 5 minutes. 1, Change Labs. 2, Bike Clinic. Tim Deal Change Labs, Leroy Sanders, and Silver Stallion Bicycle and Coffee Representative. C, financial reports. 1, March 2021, Esther Grass, Secretary Treasurer, and Duran Begay, Executive Manager. D, reports limit to 5 minutes. 1, Gerald Kitso, Chapter President. 2, Daniel Williams, Grazing Official. 3, Otoso, Council Delegate. 4, Duran M. Begay, Executive Manager. 5, staff reports, written reports submitted. 6, Nelson Cody, Planning and Zoning Committee. 7, Justice M. Beer, Tuba City Regional Healthcare Corporation Board Member. E, presentation, limit 10 minutes. 1, collaboration of reduced childhood asthma disparities on Navajo Nation, Peter Nez, National Jewish Health. 2, parent kit evaluation study, Dr. Lisa Collins, First Things First. 3, radiation exposure screening education program, Natasha Begay, RESEP coordinator. F, old business, Alceda. 1, legislation TND 10-1-2020, supporting and recommending the Dene College and University of Arizona's research proposal. Decision support for agricultural reuse of municipal wastewater effluent in the Navajo Nation. Sponsor, Dr. Shazia T. Hakim, Professor, Dene College. From November 4, 2020, chapter meeting minutes, Dr. Hakim changed the language to the resolution based on the recommendation at the October chapter meeting. She made clarifications to questions posed at the last month's meeting. Dr. Hakim showed changes of the resolution using a PowerPoint presentation. Gerald Kitso, President, asked for a motion. Council of Natani did not respond, so no action was taken. However, asked the presenter to come back next month. Motion to approve. Second. Motion by vote 301. G, new business and needed legislation. TND 040121 to support and recommend this research study project, Safe Schools, Safely Reopen Schools Serving the Native Children and Adolescent, a public health service project and research study to be conducted by Johns Hopkins Center for American Indian Health. Sponsor, Alicia Tsosi, Research Program Coordinator, Johns Hopkins Center for American Indian Health. 2, legislation TND 04022021, supporting the issuance of a tribal access authorization agreement from the Navajo Nation to the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority for a utility corridor beginning with the installation of fiber and other associated items within the Twananestiza community for expanding and enhancing communication services to Verizon Tower. Sponsor, Jason Yazzie, Electric Systems Planning, Section NTUA. 3, legislation TND 04032021, supporting the issuance of a tribal access authorization agreement from the Navajo Nation to the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority to construct, operate, and maintain a distribution line with fiber optic care within the Twananestiza local government for expanding and enhancing communication systems, services to Sinabas Habitin Elementary School and Gap Botaway community. Sponsor, Jason Yazzie, Electric Systems Planning Section NTUA. 4, legislation TND 04042021, supporting the issuance of a tribal access authorization agreement from the Navajo Nation to the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority to construct, operate, and maintain a distribution line with fiber optic cable within the Twananestiza local government for expanding and enhancing communication services to Preston Mesa Tower. Sponsor, Jason Yazzie, Electric Systems Planning Section NTUA. 5, legislation TND 04052021, supporting the issuance of a tribal access authorization agreement from the Navajo Nation to the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority to construct, operate, and maintain a distribution line with fiber optic cable within the Tonanisteza local government for expanding and enhancing communication services to Dithla Bay Elementary School and Cameron Community. Sponsor Jason Yazzie, Electric Systems Planning Section, NTUA. 6, legislation TND 04062021, Tonanisteza local government rescinds legislation TND 02042020, which amends and approved acreage change to Tonanisteza local government land withdrawal for Tuba City New Cemetery along Arizona Boulevard in Tuba City, Arizona. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. 7, legislation TND 04072021, Tonanisteza local government approves a land withdrawal for a community cemetery and veteran cemetery development of 49.80 plus or minus acres located in Tuba City, Arizona. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. Number 8, legislation TND 04082021, Tonanisteza local government rescinds legislation TND 02132020, which amends and approves acreage to the Tonanisteza local government land withdrawal for the Tuba City Sports Complex at Old Airport Area, Tuba City, Arizona. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. Legislation TND 040221, Tonanisteza local government approves a land withdrawal for 85 plus or minus acres for the Tuba City Sports Complex at Old Airport in Tuba City, Arizona. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. Number 10, legislation TND 04102021, approving the resignation of Myra Begay as a member of the Tonanisteza local government planning and zoning committee. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. Legislation TND 04112021, approving the resignation of Genevieve Bighorse as a member of the Tonanisteza local government planning and zoning committee. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. 12, legislation TND 04122021, recognizing and approving Velma Maloney Begay as a member of the Tuba City Local Government Planning and Zoning Committee for a term of 4 years in Tuba City, Arizona, Navajo Nation. Sponsor Nelson Cody, planner, Tonanisteza local government. 13, legislation TND 04132021, accepting and approving the Healthy Dene Act fiscal year 2020 revenue for fiscal year 2021 distribution and budget in the amount of $21,986. Sponsor Duran M. Begay, executive manager, Tonanisteza local government. 14, legislation TND 04142021, accepting and approving the Navajo Nation sales tax FY 2020 revenue for FY 2021 and budget in the amount of $88,659. Sponsor Duran M. Begay, executive manager, Tonanisteza local government. H, announcements. 1, April 1st, 2021, April Fool's Day. 2, April 2nd, 2021, Good Friday. Number 3, April 4, 2021, Easter Sunday. Number 4, April 7, 2021, regular chapter meeting at 9 a.m. in-person and virtual meeting. 5, April 8, 2021, NDOT meeting at 2:00 p.m. virtual meeting. Number 6, April 21, 2021, administrative professional day. Number 7, April 22nd, 2021, Earth Day. I, next meeting, 1, TNDLG coordination meeting, April 26, 2021 at 9:00 a.m. 2, TND local government regular chapter meeting, May 2nd, 2021 at 9:00 a.m. J, adjournment. 1, benediction. Ikaha.
Kehetse. Awat ashi de yakwa agenal sosen leni khatel yab ke ilne leni de yan hechel khan lido de lko shin de yakwa age. Be de yalla itle to le. Or shi de yakwa age council. Do we have a motion?
Motion by Angie. I second.
We have a motion by Andrew Williams. We have a second by Myra McGay. Question there, any questions? Changes? If none, then I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
I, Myra.
I, Stephen Earl.
2.
I, Angie, support.
I, Esther.
Okay, we have 4 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 not voting. We have an agenda. Thank you, Council. A Journal of Proceeding Chapter Meeting from March 7, 2021. Secretary Treasurer Esther.
Good morning, Ado Okeha, and to all our listeners out there. These are the chapter minute meetings, March 7th, 2021 at 9 a.m. A is the preliminary. 1, call meeting to order at 9:01 by Gerald Kitso, Chapter President. 2, roll call by Esther Grass, Chapter Secretary Treasurer. Chapter officials present, Gerald Kitso, Chapter President, arrived at 8:33 a.m. Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President, arrived at 8:43 a.m. Esther Grass, Chapter Secretary Treasurer, arrived at 8:00 a.m. Stephen Arizona, Con member, arrived at 8:31 a.m. Angie Williams, Con member, arrived at 8:20 a.m. Daniel Williams, grazing member, appeared telephonically at 9 a.m. Odo So, chapter delegate, appeared telephonically at 8:37 a.m. Lucille Cross, our farm board member, she also appeared telephonically at 9 a.m. 3 was invocation by Angie Williams, Con member. 4, review of the agenda read out loud by Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President. 5 is adopt and approve of the agenda read out loud by Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President. Motion to approve by Angie Williams, Con member, second by Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President. Vote 401. Gerald Kitso, Chapter President, question, comments, or addition. Duran Begay requests for more time on her financial report and would like to be moved further down on the agenda. Was moved down after the new business. Stephen Arizona, Con member, requests clarification on F1 legislation TND-10-01-2020 due to the new members. Mr. Kitso stated that the resolution that's tabled stays the same and it would be entertained by the sponsor. Mr. Kitso, Chapter President, asked Odo So, Chapter Delegate, about his request. Mr. So stated that he had family emergency. Mr. Kitso also motioned the parties, asked the motion parties, Angie and Myra, to move Mr. Kitso call to the public B1. 6 is Journal of Proceedings, Chapter Meeting on February 17, 2021 was read out loud by Esther Grass, Chapter Secretary Treasurer. Motion to approve by Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President, second by Stephen Arizona, Con member. Vote 401. B, call to the public, limit 5 minutes. 1, the Navajo Nation Council Delegate, Odo So. He mentioned that he was going to email the reports to the Chapter Secretary Treasurer, introduced himself and thanked the council, the staff, and the listeners. The Navajo Nation Resource Development Committee, along with the Navajo Nation Land Development and the Navajo Nation Department of Justice leadership meeting was held March 5th, 2021, and that was on a Friday. The committee will review the proposed Navajo Nation burial/cemetery policy, receive the draft of the policy, and will email it to the executive manager and to the officials. Committees that Mr. So is on is the Title II Subcommittee, the Quarterly Agreement Task Force. He also did an update, the Navajo Nation Division of National Resource, Navajo Nation Historical, Navajo Nation Parks and Recs, and the Navajo Nation Land Department. And he also sits on the Navajo Nation Law and Order Committee. Update with the Navajo DOT, RDC, made a presentation to the council, advised to have them work with the chapter one-on-one relationship. Reference to several road projects, which includes the Curly Valley Road, which is a $2.4 million project, Tuba City Airport Loop, and Monavi Road. The Navajo Nation Council recognizes the American Rescue Plan, $1.9 trillion, $20 billion has been earmarked for the Indian country, $6 million for the Indian Health Services, $1.2 billion for HUD tribal housing programs, $1.1 billion for educational programs, which includes the BIE, $1 million for the tribal child care, $75 million for TANF programs, and the Tuba City Regional Healthcare Corporation CEO Board President Chris Curley and Tensor Nez. He also mentioned about a presentation and new proposal for the new facility in the Tuba City, along with a resolution which will be supported by Mr. Beard. Legislation 0006-21, the Navajo Nation Council amended the council resolution CN-88-20, the Navajo Nation fiscal year 2021 comprehensive budget legislation was tabled and was given back to the Office of Management and Budget for further review and justification. This was passed on February 26, 2021, and went on over to the Navajo Nation President with the resolution number CF-11-2021 as of March 4th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Number 2 is Tuba City Regional Healthcare Corporation Radiation Exposure Education Program. A PowerPoint presentation was given by Natasha Begay. Questions was Myra Begay, Vice President. Do you have a Navajo speaking worker to help our elders? And her answer was yes. There's a Seraphine Thompson, Esther Grass, Secretary Treasurer. Can someone apply twice with different cancer? Natasha replied, is waiting on Department of Justice to answer this question. It was asked by community. Mr. Kitso, Chapter President, can anyone request to be screened? Angie Williams, Con member, are you communicating with the Department of Health Services? C is financial reports. 1, February 2021, Esther Grass, Secretary Treasurer, and Duran Begay, Executive Manager. PowerPoint presentation by Esther and Duran. 2, sales tax report, CY 2020, fourth quarter, Charlene Minigoats, Tax Manager. PowerPoint presentation was given by Duran Begay, Executive Manager, due to technical difficulties that Ms. Minigoats was unable to give her report. Motion to approve by Myra Begay, Chapter Vice President, second by Angie Williams, Con member, vote 401. D is reports, limit 5 minutes. 1, Gerald Kitso, Chapter President, introduced himself and welcomed everyone. Vaccine, continue to wear your mask and social distance and get vaccinated. Tuba City Chapter met with the Tuba City Regional Health Corporation regarding the new building with a resolution. The Tuba City's boarding school on Main Street has been discussed with the Navajo Nation Land Department and the hospital on the abandoned buildings and needs to be demolished. The Tuba City Senior Center, this has been approved due to the pandemic. The chapter has requested for the funds to be given to the chapter so the project can start at local level. Navajo Nation and Window the CPMD, was given all paperwork for this request, and we are still waiting. Council and staff are still having meetings on regular regarding projects. Summer youth employment. Last summer, we had no students that worked due to the pandemic. Fundings from the Navajo Nation was given to all 110 chapters allocated by registered voters. Shiprock chapter and Tuba City chapter are the largest chapters in our nation. Shiprock had 4,904 registered voters. Tuba City had 1,200. As you see, the fund will be a big difference. We need for you to register to vote, and this is how the nation allocates the money to us. 2 is Daniel Williams, grazing official, introduced himself, welcomed the chapter officials, and those who are listening. The burial plots, Navajo Nation and Window Rock, Resource Department, leadership team, and the meeting about a burial policy. Mr. Odoso had also talked about this earlier. There are recommending land withdrawals for the family plots. Grazing will do the latitude, longitude measurements, then the survey is done. Horse roundup, I will be working with local chapters for the resolution, then we get back with the agency, Tony Robbins. A copy of the agency resolution will be given to the chapter Monday. Received his second vaccine on March 2nd. He's still working with home site leases. A virtual livestock workshop, March 9th, 2021 at 6, March 10th, 2021 at 6, March 11th, 2021 at 6. All workshops are different daily. 3 is Odoso, council delegate. This report was moved to call to the public. 4 is Duran Begay, executive manager, introduced and welcomes the council and those who are listening on social media. Navajo Nation retirement updates from the last meeting, still no response from the retirement office. Renovation, we have hired 2 personnel, 2 laborers for the listed building, Arizona building, fair office. Arizona building, Nelson has been working on this. The fair office has been completed. Security cameras for the fair office grounds have not been completed due to the renovation. Senior citizen building, requesting Shahassin funds. Year 1 and 2 fundings will be released to our chapter so we can move forward with the building. Submitted necessary documents to the CPMD, and certain documents are lacking. We are having weekly update meetings with CPMD staff and delegates, so our goal is to receive the funds by the end of the second quarter. Escrow funds, met with Mr. Black in his office, reviewed the documents listings, which are the documents still needing to submit and receive the distribution. Meetings on September 3rd to discuss which direction to expand these funds. Need to get back on this task. No action on my part. Tent rentals will end as of March 31st, 2021. All parties have been notified. The Tuba City broadband meetings are still held every Thursday. You may refer to Mr. Sixkiller's monthly report for more information. CARES allocation to the chapters. Our chapter was allocated $1.6 million. We were approved for our request for a bulk ordering on the personal protective equipment in the amount of $220,000. I'm sorry. Received 5 trailers of PPEs, hand soap, toilet, toilet tissue, thermometers, antibacterial spray, antibacterial wipes, and hand sanitizers. Personnel are boxing up the items and getting ready for distribution along with the USDA this Wednesday. Still, warehouse building at the fairgrounds. Mr. So was given a proposal and ready to be submitted if
We have two.
Supports to approve.
Esther approved.
Okay, we have 4 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 not voting. Thank you, council. Aroshi naswol just olet nana, do nana yat en get the schniddle. Those of you that have come online or dialed in, I'm going to say again, good morning and welcome to our regular chapter meeting. Shikesha the nano shinigi yat naswol just olet. Item B on our agenda, call to the public. We have 2 that have stated or contact us that they want to be here to present. I don't know if we have anyone else out there that is listening in that like to address the community. If you do, if you're calling in, let us know. If you're online, get on the chat on Zoom. I don't know if we have Tim Deal online. Tim Deal from Change Lab. Change Lab going once, twice. Okay, I guess we don't have Change Lab online. So we'll go to number 2 under call to the public. Mr. Leroy Sanders, are you online with us? Okay, I hear you, I see you, but let's get the speaker volume up so we can hear you. Be patient with us here, Mr. Sander. We'll give you. We need the volume up.
I did volume up.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hold on. We'll just go on ahead with you, Quagga. Mr. Sanders, can you go on ahead and do your presentation? Uh, Good morning, Anna, Mr. Sanders. It's good to see you. It's good to have you on with us. And yes, Mr. Cody shared that video with us and some of the pictures that was taken at your events. And what he was telling us is it's a guy from Gallup, is basically what he
Yes.
told us. But now you're saying you're from Tuba City. It's really good that you're doing what you can, and then saying you're from Tuba City. That's neat. And it sounds like you're from the western side. You mentioned copper mine and you mentioned coal mine too. My mom's from Cedar Ridge. My dad is from Howell Mesa. So thank you for coming and sharing. What you're doing is really neat, and what Nelson shared with us, and what you're doing, you're wanting to bring it to Tuba City. We would love to have you come into Tuba City. I've got a few bites that's just been sitting around anyway. So I'm going to be bringing that around. So yeah, Quag,
Go ahead.
I think Nelson is trying to get the video going. So
Okay.
I don't know if any of the other council members have anything to say. Go ahead, Mr. Sanders.
With all that, my kids were able to join his mountain bike team from Gallup. It was called Gallup Composite. And then a year later, uh, there was a group that came together to start a mountain bike club for the Navajo Nation. So they called it the Neck Composite. And as time went on, um, my kids were the primary focus on that. So their name is Taven and Jenny Sanders, and their grandparents, Sally and Harold, the late Harold McCabe Sr. So you guys probably know of that family. So so that's where my in-laws are. And to make this short, we
Nonprofit
have been
providing
involved with this. We have been involved with this biking for several years now. And but that compassion came through uh, Mr. Neidham's input. So, yeah, he's the Balagana from Gallup that you're talking about. So, just to let you guys know. So, I'm sure you when you guys see the video. So, I, primarily, I'm spearheading this with Mr. Cody and also Scott Neidham. And then there's another candidate, they're from Colorado, and they've been part of our email. And right now, since the pandemic is going on, all the bikes that they have, they're saying that they're spoken for, and so their next shipment is going to be until late summer into early fall is what they're telling us. So just to let you guys know, and get all the information out, but I'm sure I'll be in contact with Mr. Cody. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate letting me into this chapter meeting. And I hope you guys have a very good day. Ideya. Thank you.
Akashin Nana, I think they have the video up, so they're going to play it and have the people online view it and see what you're doing. So, question what edole? Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys as a chapter meeting, and hopefully you guys have a beautiful day.
Akashin, we'll see you. Oh.
Hello, my name is Scott Neidham. I am the founder and executive director of Silver Stallion Bicycle and Coffee Works based in Gallup, New Mexico. We're a small nonprofit providing job skills for bicycle mechanic repair as well as specialty coffee services. Around all that, we're offering a number of different programs in youth development as far as bicycle riding teams and trying to create sort of a scene and an infrastructure for bicycles to become a viable piece of somebody's life. So where we're starting, working back from that, is realizing here in this region, there are certain blank spots, and one of the blank spots on the Navajo Nation is across 27,000 square miles, there's not a single bike shop. The absence of that and all the barriers that exist, the decision of whether or not a kid's going to make a bike part of their life is sort of already decided for them, for the most part. And what our goal is to do is to make that their decision. So to address that need and that gap, we came up with this idea of a mobile ride center. We pitched the idea of doing a COVID relief effort of doing free mechanical repair to those who are in need, with bicycle shops being deemed as an essential service in the community. If it's essential service, it's a right, in a sense, to have. And if there's a systemic reason for these things not existing in places like the Navajo Nation, there needs to be a systems approach towards addressing that. And that's what the Outdoor Equity Fund provided us, is the heavy lift to make up for these gaps in the industry, to keep kids riding and keep adults riding.
Yate, Jay Randy Bitsu Yinisha. And my part at the Mobile Ride Center was just to help Manny Chimera, shout out to Manny, to fix brakes and true some rims. Manny handled the rims, so I just handled the brakes. Mobile Ride Center is a good thing, you know, helping, giving back to the community throughout the Navajo Nation, helping kids with the rides, and unfortunately this year with COVID, we couldn't really be hands-on with the kids, but it's good to see them back on their bikes.
So we understand that all of these efforts to make up for the inequities in the outdoor rec industry, it's definitely a relational, local, eye-to-eye grassroots effort. We also know that there's these heavy lifts that need to happen. And without the state of New Mexico stepping in, we simply could not have done this lift in the time that it took place to get this repair done, these events happening this summer and fall.
His family, they're all bike riders. there's 6 of them. So they all have bikes, and we just got to conversating and putting the two together. So he's a local, and he's got some networks here in Tuba with family, friends, and other bike riders. The event that he mentioned earlier in Hard Rock, there was, I believe it was 40 or 50 bikes that were repaired within 5 hours, and there was about, I believe it's 70 bikes that were given out and donated by a corporation to children between the ages of 6 and 12. So the event was well done, and it was social distance practice, and the bike repair was just a drop off for the community, and the community picked it up later. So I just advised that they could wait for the yellow status for the Navajo Nation, and then the community and the chapter could think about doing the event. So the reason for Mr. Sanders today was just to introduce himself, Silver Stallion, and the event, just to bring it up to the public and to the officials. So, and the next step again would just be some planning and more communication between the community and the chapter officials in the chapter. That's it.
Thank you, Nelson. Also, we'd like to say thank you again to Mr. Sanders. He said he's at work. He just made time for us for a bit, and he's probably back to work now. So again, we just want to say thank you to him and everything that he has done or doing, the group that he's with. They're out just repairing bikes here on the res. So Tim Deal was online, but we couldn't hear him. He has contacted us and saying he's online. So, Mr. Deal, are you online with us?
Hello, this is Tim. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. Go ahead.
Yes. Site right now.
Thank you, Tim. Council, any questions? No question, Tim. Thank you for coming on with us. We'll see you. Thank you. Arashi Nasport just I don't know if we have anyone else.
I don't see anything in the chat, so.
Okay, so that's going to conclude the call to the public. Arashi, going on to item C, financial report. Esther Grass and Duran Begay is going to be doing the report for us. Duran, Esther.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. To the council members, we have Stephen here, Myra, Mr. Kitso, Esther, Angie. We have some staff behind me. So good morning to all of you that are logged in. There's quite a bit of you that are online. We are using Zoom for this meeting, but I'm not going to have a March report due to a new type of like a cash register system that we got set up in March for the front office. So those cash receipts need to be imported into the MIP. So I'm waiting on that part to get that situated with Bill Jimenez with ITG. So once that's integrated, it'll be easier to get the cash receipts transferred over from the front office register to the MIP system. So I was hoping to get that done yesterday, but Bill is working on getting a report together. We did log in with each other on Monday to pull all kinds of reports from the company that we're using is Pay Anywhere. So that's what we're using. We were using the Square cash system up front, but we transitioned over to the Pay Anywhere. So that, unfortunately, I don't have a March report, so I like to defer that until the May meeting. Thank you. Yes.
I second that motion. Andrew Williams.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your understanding, council.
Thank you, Shar. I was talking to myself right here. But anyhow, Yat Ihnana, I use up about a couple of minutes of my time. Quege, yat nana, Tedeshkini, the Nanshlet Katnesani, the Shijepi, Pitwari, the Shichet, what a genie, the Shanala. What are they, Yaqueg Shananesh, yat Shahaneto, yo, Hallo, the Quege, Dida. Bade Yaquaton, Nihiki, Quenihinanesh, Il Inigishi, the Queganat an in the Achal Yanagi, Ashide, Yawat are the Yankil Neto, lately, Donana Quagan, planner, and Lenigi, what out, which in Halon, Hinanesh, Il Inigi, Quashide, what are the Yankil Neto, Shade o Quagge, did the Nanahosh Kato, late Nana. Nichetlokot ehegi nichetlokot zagi do de hut an chetol jiskote do de yapani na kot ego na ilne als koje de yan hits a yeneskla a kot ende de ya ohwil a kot ego en lenegi kon ko de ya koege hut a de yan kha na ilne di de koege a O Hashin so good day Yahweh ni tlo sedli jo kon de ya ko de yan khatas vaccination khat nenegi a large in the de yana kigonagi de utan khata alia do nana ni ke ya kha o kon in the de ya de ya da wis ago kon Hashin so de ya tenne hwa ni zin shi akot end etsa atin de konte yan hitcha do det which hut de yan hilch huit konelt de ya bananas kli in de ya konelt de hut de yan hik en hit en lenigi de hut de ya begal leni de ya nada has it hut atin de hilchan de ya hut nan hi khat shoden hit ne atin de achoden ze de quiska atinte kut ade ya pi ilta atide ya hitra kone nalni lenegi kut shik shedna no lenegi kone shoden hiti no de quiska nda shide kut ape de ya hit yeltki na to atinte kone kut ate ya hitra de ya nalni lenegi kut ate ya pohonne Jean that there's light at the end of the tunnel. End atin da achwalian hitine so that an hiso zenige kone de yabik at the ditle in the day yakone ni ein linigi ko de yaban si kes ni man hije in the day yamasana et shaydan nalatan linigi gut de ya ba de ya khanitsen jo gut de yan sa kes die de ya ut de yan hije nana ado de de koto ado ko de ya benel nation linigi shen de ya ke hol jisen lo ko report il ne linigi gut shen de yan kil shnit ado de akut ashinde yakona nicha khasit o le tlonan akhen kit shnido le ko de yan kitle kon no so na sto ado council ko de yakina ne khlo hut ya to khe akut ashinde yakwa de yan nicha khasit o le ado shinas hol just o le tide akona de yan grazing official Mr. Williams, are you online with us?
Yes, I am.
Hakushina hol jizo leshkwege. أول شيء كده Mr. Williams. I don't know if the council has any questions. I don't think there's any question. كده Nana. Do Nana yat ehpen. Ado she nasto lish. Che, Mr. So, are you on with us?
Good morning. Actually,
Oh, Johnny, you eat.
okay. Not. The American Rescue Plan. Yeah, I did. Kinahal Kado, I did Congress did. I think so. Congress, as I say, Congress is the two bodies together, the House and the Senate. The craft the American Rescue Plan, and all of you guys know, has passed the House and the Senate, and the President has signed that piece of legislation into law. And out of that, Tashin Sabo, did a piece of Tashin Sabo, Tahus Ago, Tahus Doja, with a piece of, which is able to chip. Alcohol, alcohol, through that, the Indian tribes throughout the United States of America, Alcohol, we know that it's rounding off about 31 billion dollars that's earmarked for Indian country. And they say that tahis ago hajin sabo ajapa ye the COVID nimige ajapa sa pachede. Alcohol the president has signed that into law. Right now, what is destined for the Navajo Nation, or the correction, for Indian country. Alcohol out of it, in with the appropriation besides the dollars. BIA, our trustee, 900 million, which is it throughout Indian country. Indian Health Services receive about 6.1 billion appropriation out of the stimulus act. Out on the housing assistance, just a piece of budget. Out on the BIE, the Bureau of Indian Education, about 85 million. That's not it for Indian country. Alcohol. What I'm getting to is we are waiting on the U.S. Treasury. Congress, and after the president has signed in the law and the budget went over to OMB to go ahead and start calculating and putting monies into these accounts, the U.S. Treasury agency Washington alcohol alcohol with the Indian tribes consultation banalite and not able to about 31 billion. We know that $1 billion is going to be distributed equally among all the federally recognized Indian tribes. So whatever the Hopi tribe gets, our neighboring tribes, we're going to get the same amount out of that $1 billion. Out of about 20 billion is going to be determined based off of various formulas that the federal government has in place currently. There's the U.S. Census count data. That is the reason why the census count was very, very important for us. There's the NHA housing data, which just counts native Navajos on that is living on the reservation in our situation, living on the reservation. Okay, there's housing formula based off of children. There's a formula that's based off of elders, number of elders. Washington, and we are waiting currently all federal entities that are destined to receive monies, and tribal nations that will be receiving monies are at a standstill in waiting on the U.S. Treasury to release those guidelines. We call it expenditure plan. In the federal system, guidelines that tells you specifically how these dollars could be used, how these dollars, what they could be used for, what they could be used for as part of their expenditures. Alcohol, consultation in Washington. So every day we have staff on the phone, not to get a glimpse on how the consultation and some of the preliminary discussions of the funding allocation throughout Indian countries are going to happen. Along with that, we are having work sessions. We started up Monday. Almost every day programs. Work sessions pertaining to our tribal programs on what we receive from the CARES Act. Just by anticipation, we are looking at the formulas that were utilized during the Trump administration for the CARES Act. We are looking we are hoping that they do utilize those same formulas, because those formulas really benefited the Navajo Nation. In lieu of that, the Navajo Nation Council, division directors, we are trying to prepare preliminary to start putting information together. The other day we did housing. Monday at housing, correction, infrastructure, water, power, and water and power. Communication with community development, the NTUA, Navajo, Arizona Public Services, and Humus Electric, and Continental Divide Electric, entities that are providing utilities on the Navajo Nation. How can we prepare for this next wave of funding coming to the Navajo Nation? Housing and transportation. Work session. Pertaining to NHA and home improvement program on the Navajo Nation. The other discussion that happened with that work session yesterday was transportation. Transportation department is putting together a proposal to request for some monies for roads. And this is where Tuba City chapter, we really need to be ready for it. When NDOT asks, so what roads do you have? I know they have information, but they're going to be coming around and talking to you. We did tell them you need to start talking to the local level. The chapter, the local level. Today, as I'm speaking to you now, the infrastructure of broadband throughout the Navajo Nation is being discussed right now. Navajo Nation Cyber Team and NTUA will probably be on the line again. And the need fiber optic, the community of Tuba City, our community, our schools, our business development, and the Bachelor's Plaza and the local Sleep Plaza, NTUA Tower, the Tuba City Boarding School, Tuba City Public School, and the Tuba City Healthcare Corporation. You know, not from the council, but the Navajo people funded these projects because these dollars came in based off of population and the formulas that benefited for the Navajo people to get more dollars. So I show a broadband behind, and right now I'm ready to. I'm trying to. We need to start looking at the dark zone. We got fiber to the schools, we got fiber to the healthcare services and things like that. But what about to the teacher housing, to the houses where the doctors live? And it requires just pandemic. We're still in the pandemic. We still have to be careful. And home teaching, distant learning from the Bureau of Indian Education and from the areas where the Navajo Nation has jurisdiction over the schools. We know that the public school is back in school. We don't have jurisdiction. Public school, the state, we had discussions with the state of Arizona, but they moved forward to open up the schools. Every day I got off the phone until 9 o'clock because I was on a budget and finance committee meeting also. I don't I have a legislation that's went through requesting funding for the criminal investigation department overall throughout the Navajo Nation. Our criminal investigations are very, very instrumental in every aspect in investigating cases relating to crime, deaths, assaults, major assaults, and so forth. It's due to the pandemic, and they investigate death cases such as, even if it's a COVID-related death at home, they have to look at why criminal investigation that pertaining to direct services to the greater Navajo public. So with that, I'm on a work session called pertaining to the infrastructure of the Navajo Nation, and at these work sessions, you have to be there to be part of the discussion, because based on that, and findings that will be very crucial to our community there in Tuba City. Even these work sessions are very important, and I will be getting it on there after my report is done and accepted. But for this time, and again, I don't continue to mask up and continue to have those precautions. We're not out of it. We have the new strand that's here, and we have to keep our guards up. Don't put your guard down just because you think people are vaccinated and you're okay. keep your guard up and protect your neighbor, protect yourselves. I don't know what I say. Yeah, you need to never try you need none say what what has not he thought now he's la what about this at this time. But again, I appreciate this time and thank you very much, Mr. Kitso, Mr. President. Thank you.
Aga sé che John do nana na hannet o chayu do de wat an chli shan na neint la na nation lenigi do na che nitsen ko do wat at honest do an khananna do do akot a na khant a ko de ya che hendi ni do le a ko da it's na de kida za hadlo council. Any question for our council delegate?
Mr. President, this is Esther. Mr. So, are you still there with us?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Okay. You mentioned in your report that you were meeting and you named several I guess companies out there like NTUA, APS, and the third one I didn't get. Did you say Continental Division, Continental Divide? Is that what they use out towards the Eastern Agency area somewhere?
Yes, it's Shema. So the meeting, the work session that occurred was geared to the whole Navajo Nation in general, and all the utility operators. To make them because the amount of monies that we are anticipating, we're going to need help expending these dollars. Even Eastern Navajo, they utilize Continental Divide. It's an electric co-op company. That they use Hemus Electric. The Eastern Navajo, those checkerboard areas. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
I don't think we have any more questions for you. Thank you, and keep on doing what you're doing for us. We appreciate. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. What I would really like to just request the chapter to do is chapter official, the NTUA, since you guys are a local governance. NTUA, start that conversation. Where can we expand on the broadband in the dark areas of Tuba City? We know that the backbone, Bizon fiber. Then local Sleep Plaza, Tuba City chapter and up to the police station. Things like that is something that we need to start looking at the extensions, the dark zones to enhance. To have better quality internet services for things pertaining to education, community development, and economic development for the Diego, economic development. So, for instance, if we can get fiber coming up from northwards from Doko Sleep Plaza to the Tuba City Police Department, 7 to 11, and then KFC and all these developments there can hook on and have a better business connection to the financial world, so that we could continue to try to it could enhance with tax. It will increase the tax sales. There's be a little bit quicker to process those payments and things like that. So, what's up, alcohol, or which is added from the local level. You know, even working with NHA, can we get broadband extended up to just subdivisions? To the city, get the lower housing, the subdivision phase 1 and phase 2, the mutual help housing, and the NHA complex. I think if we could start having that discussion there at the local level, there will go with NTUA. I would really appreciate it so that we have those numbers with NTUA. So when the council asks for these proposals, Tuba City, we will all be included. I want you guys to champion that project there in Tuba City.
Okay, Che. I think the conversation has started. Nelson has been reaching out to NTUA, and we got a quote on what it's going to take to bring it up to at least to the chapter house. But it's going to be along Main Street, coming north from Doko Asleet. So the conversation is going right now, but we just need to sit down with them again. Thank you. We don't have any others.
Daryl, can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, hello. It's Lucille Kraus. I don't have myself on the agenda log. Can you guys start updating that, please? Farm Board Isha for Tuba City.
Are you saying you like to do a report?
Yes, I would.
Let us go through this, and we'll add you on there.
Okay, thank you.
Duran, are you ready?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, council members. We have staff that are in their offices, and then to those of you that are on the line with us. So our time limit is 5 minutes, so I'm going to make this quick, but a really quick introduction, everyone. Good morning again. My name is Duran Begay. I'm the executive manager for Tuba City chapter. So I'm going to jump right into my report. So we have, regular activities that are going on within the chapter. First and foremost is paying our vendors to make sure that our chapters are paying its obligations on time, whether it's payroll liabilities, as well as regular vendors that we're dealing with. We continue to have daily staff meetings with leadership, and now and then we'll have officials that'll join in with us, as well as weekly briefings with the ASC office. And of course, communication is our biggest obstacle here. We continue to work on this. Projects that we have listed, I did mention to defer the March 2021 financial report to the May meeting, as I am working with Bill.
Lucille. Hello? Lucille, if you can hear us, Duran is doing the report. We're going to have you until after Justice Spirit. Nikiden Sash? Lucille? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so was that a request for public input?
No, Duran is doing her report. We're going to go down. Duran and then Nelson, Justice, and then Lucille is going to be at the end.
Okay, I am back. This is Duran, so continuing on with my report.
Duran, wait up. Those of you guys that are online, could you please put your phone on mute? We have someone listening to a radio or something. Thank you. Go ahead, Duran.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kitso. Everyone, again, put yourselves on mute until it's your turn. So again, I did ask to defer the March financial report to the May meeting, just because we have that Pay Anywhere register that we're using at the front office that'll integrate with our daily cash receipts into the MIP system. And we have opened up more services to the public, and yes, we are open. So if you are calling the main line, which is 283-3284, either if the line is busy, we have Ina at the front, she's probably on the other line. We do have other phone numbers available that you can call. So we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 o'clock. So again, I did mention the Navajo Nation retirement system that we want to participate in. I did reach out to Mr. So to assist us with this issue. And then the renovation, our Arizona building is completed. We did finally pass the air quality test, and Mr. Cody has drawn up a draft MOA in working with Navajo Land Department. The fair office that has been completed, and staff have moved back in. There's just a few issues that they continue to work on. And then as far as our senior center building, that is being held up due to various reasons. We are asking for year 1 and 2 funding to be released to our chapter so we can manage the project ourselves from here. However, there's some questions that have arisen from the President's office and from DOJ, so we're at a standstill with that drawdown. There are other documents that Wells Fargo was requesting for the view-only access for the personnel to view our chapter account from CPMD regarding this funding when it comes down. We do have weekly meetings with Shayla, and then Mr. So and myself, along with Nelson and Mr. Keatso. Again, back to the escrow funds, we did meet with Mr. Black again recently, and what's being requested is an updated recipient listing with a project management plan along with the funding request resolutions. So I'd like to sit down with the officials to review the listing that we have and see what we can actually do for these recipients. The amount that we're looking at is $504,000, and we have 44 people on that list. Is that amount even feasible to address all these 44 people? So that's something that we need to discuss. And the drone, I did receive the agreement that was given to us. That just needs to be reviewed. The tent rental that we were doing at the staging area at the fairgrounds has been removed as of yesterday. So we no longer have a staging area. The strike team that was situated there has been relocated back to their offices. Anything that remained in that tent has been either distributed to chapters or they moved it to another site. Preferably, I believe it's the wellness center up at the hospital that they move a lot of that stuff to. And then I did discuss with Ryan, who's the supervisor up there, about having them assist us if we have any other future donations that will be coming to us. Now the problem is going to be storing. So if we do accept donations, we need to distribute them right away. There's just nowhere to store stuff right now, okay? We did get a call from Senator Peshlikai regarding a company from the East Coast that is wanting to donate 28 pallets of hand sanitizers. And then Gilbert with the fire department did indicate that they are going to receive 127 pallets worth of hand sanitizing as well. But for Gilbert's request, that's going to be distributed on the western side of this agency. So he is making his own distribution, I guess, arrangements. However, he did ask us if we can transport from Twin Arrows back to over here. So that's something that we're going to assist with. They don't have the means to transport all of that stuff. So we do have our labor still on board. They do help us in with distributing, as well as the strike team.